What if I told you there is a pattern many people see, but few are willing to say it loud? Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that no matter what Black Americans do, how much they achieve, how much they contribute, how much history they carry, there always seems to be criticism coming from somewhere? If you have noticed it, I want you to say something in the comments. If you haven't, I want you to hear that too. Because this isn't about emotions alone, it's about observation. We're talking about a community whose history in America includes Jim Crow's law, redlining, segregation, and so many others. A community that has fought and is still fighting for equality and recognition. So why does it sometimes feel like the tension never disappears? Why does there always seems to be a narrative, a comparison, or a critique directed towards the same group, regardless the progress? Is it a misunderstanding? Is it a political manipulation? Is it a competition? Or is it something deeper that people don't want to unpack? That's what I'm going to explore today. This video is not about attacking anyone. It's about examining conversations that are already happening openly and quietly. If you ever question the dynamics between communities in America, you will want to stay to the end because real dialogue requires everyone on the table. My name is Faith and you're welcome back to Chats with Faith. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a conversation. And as always, credit goes to the original creators for every single clip used in this episode. This video is for educational purpose and awareness. It's not meant to hate or discriminate against anyone. The goal is to discuss real challenges and perspective openly and respectfully. We've got more clips and conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. Let's chat.
What did Black people in America do to deserve this level of hatred and disdain? Most of us, our ancestors, we started coming here in the year 1619. We've never started a war with you. We've never tried to take the country away. We've never undermined the country. So my question here in America, what did Black people do to deserve this level of ongoing hatred and disdain? That is my question, America. Thank you.
You say you don't hate blacks. What do you feel about them and what do you want done with them?
When time comes, God will send them back to their homeland, Africa.
What?
I have nothing against them.
Why will God send them to Africa?
Exactly.
Because all the races will go back to their homeland.
Well, where do whites go? This used to belong to
whites stay here, New Jerusalem, America.
Excuse me, whites stay in New Jersey?
New Jerusalem, the United States, New Jerusalem.
Okay, but the Native Americans, which we used to call Indians, they were here first. We have to get out.
No.
So when are you leaving?
I'm not leaving.
I'll listen.
In the Bible, it says in Genesis 2, in the chapter of 2, in Genesis, it says that be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. Subdue it is to rule over, and he was talking to us Israelites, the Adamites, from Adam.
What
he was talking to Adam.
Okay, well,
We're from Adam.
What has that? Wait a sec. What has that got to do with the fact that if we're returning to where we're from, I gotta tell you that if you go back far enough in your family, you're not from the United States of America. Okay?
Yes.
You're probably.
I don't care, but white Christian America.
You said everybody's got to go back.
It's a promised land. God gave it to us.
Okay, so. Oh, God gave it.
That's how it goes.
Excuse me.
If you don't like it, then
Excuse me. Wait. God gave the United States of America
it's
to
a
us?
promised land.
Wait, is this in the Bible? The Bible was written before 1776.
Yes, and it does tell the future.
So how did God know that there was no United States of America? How could God have given? How in the Bible could it say that God?
God prophesies future in the Bible.
Go ahead.
Well, for one, I am a Baptist child, and for one, who do y'all think y'all coming to this state and this saying stuff about our white people here? Us black people were the first people here. Cause I'm Indian, and I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all saying y'all gonna kill somebody? I dare y'all come and touch some of them. Cause all of us is one color. Cause when the lights go off, all of us are black.
Yes.
Hey, let me share something with you people real quick.
hang in there because this might be a little lengthy, but I want to say what I got to say. If you ask a European or white person why they don't like African American or they hate African American people, they will have 100,000 reasons to why. But I'm going to name a few of them. They're criminals. They're thieves. They're not smart. They've never worked for anything. They're dangerous. They're gang bangers. They're violent. They have multiple reasons as to why they feel the need to hate us. Now, white people, hold on for a minute because I'm about to turn the light on. I want to show you something. Everything that you said that we are, those that went before you was. So basically, we learn these behaviors from your great-great-great-great-granddaddy and your great-great-great-great-grandmama and they mama and whoever else that went before them. The treatment and the hatred and the behaviors that our ancestors experienced, they taught y'all to be just like them. Those who exhibited this behavior taught you all to be just like them. Let's go back to the 1600s. As a matter of fact, let's go back to 1619 to be exact. That was the year that slavery first began. And I want to show you all of the behaviors that you said we are. Your people display this same behavior. 1619 to be exact, when slavery was just beginning, a group of whitey criminals / thieves went over to Africa to drop off cargo, and in return, they took slaves as a trade. They took 20 people to be exact. The first load was 20 Africans from their homeland and brought them over to America, and they were taking them to Virginia. That's where they were first going to be settled to work in a tobacco field. But before you could get them or they could get them to Virginia, they would settle for about 3 to 4 months. And what they would do with the slaves is they would take them to this castle and throw them into cells, dark, cold, diseased cells, to be left there for months until they were ready to sail again. They would barely feed them, barely clothe them. And then when they began to get ready to sail again, they would chain them in close proximity together where they could barely turn, barely move, and where they sat in their own secretion, where they sat in their own feces, while food would be thrown to them like they were animals. You say we act like animals. You would chain them like animals and throw food at them like they were animals. They would be chained so close together where they would begin to get sick. Smallpox and different diseases that they would begin to catch, and to keep from infecting all of the slaves, those that were sick, you would take them and throw them overboard. You would flog them and beat them and hit them. They would be beaten and flogged and thrown overboard as a sign of control. This is how I'm going to control you so you don't disobey orders and you don't get out of order. We're going to throw you overboard to let you know that this is what's going to happen to you if you don't submit and come subject to what it is we want from you. They would take them and ship them and bring them to be forced to work so that your people would not have to. So basically, what they did was the same thing that they're doing to this very day. Human trafficking. That's what they was doing back in those days. They were human trafficking Africans from their homeland to bring them over to America to be forced to labor, to be forced to work. And then even while they were on the ship and they were sailing, they would separate the children and the women from the men because they used the women for their own sexual desires and pleasures while they were sailing. So y'all was rapists too. So in all of that, you were criminals, you were thieves, you were rapists, you were trafficking people. Those are crimes today. So for you to say that this is what we are, that's what your people was back in the day. So we learned this behavior from y'all. I just thought I'd share that. So how is it that you that have been taught this behavior, because hatred is a taught behavior. You didn't inherit it. You were not born with it. This was something that was taught to you. So how is it that you can call the kettle black, as my mother used to say, when your people are the ones that taught us this behavior? Stay tuned, because there's more videos to come. I got so much more. That was just the first thing I wanted to deal with. I'm going to show you your other behavior that you say we display.
Biochemically, I understand why white people can't stand us, because I can reproduce you out of existence. You see that? I understand segregation for white people. If I let you move amongst me and reproduce with my women, you will kill us off. There will be no more white folks.
Literally, yeah.
Because we are genetically recessive. So I understood the racism, but I won't condone the tactics that they employed in order to protect themselves. The lynchings, the killings, the beatings, the
indoctrination,
denial of opportunity. That's unacceptable. I understand you want to keep yourself to yourself, because you see, the white man can only reproduce with a white woman. He can't reproduce with no other woman.
And the definition of white is extremely narrow.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you, like my grandma told me, it's because we like ourselves. It's because we like ourselves. They cannot do anything to us to take away our joy. They can't do anything to us to take away our confidence. They can't do anything to us that makes us feel like we're not going to make it through. We know we're going to make it through because our ancestors did. Anything that you could do to a group of people have been done to us. And because we know that, because we know our ancestors survived much worse, we know that we can. They sang during the worst of times, so we can sing now. They laughed during that, we can laugh now. We like ourselves. And that's, if other groups of people, if they had to go through what we go through, they would not make it. And they know that. So they don't understand why we do. They don't understand how we can still laugh through all of this pain and turmoil. All the jokes that we made about how every day the world's falling apart, and here we are skating and double dutch and playing spades and line dancing and having a good time. They don't understand how that's happening. You see the farmers out there in Kentucky or Nebraska, wherever, they are having a horrible time, and their suicide rates are 3 times the national average right now, because they can't take it. They cannot take what we can take. Not only can we take it, not only can we endure, we can also be happy while we're doing it. We can find joy while we're doing it. That's why Black people always will be like, we don't take anything seriously, or we make a joke out of everything. In every situation, we make a joke because we know how to have joy. We figured out that life is about having fun, and people will look at that and they hate it. They hate it. They say that we're lazy. They say that we are, uneducated and stupid and everything, childish, immature. But the truth is, they are jealous. They're jealous because if what had happened to us happened to them, they would not be as happy as we are. They would not have figured out a way to still have joy. And they hate us for it. They hate us that they cannot do anything to us to rob us of that joy. And you know why? It's because they didn't give it to us. So they can't take it away.
Why are black people so hated just based off of our skin color? It doesn't make sense, right? So I was watching the episode of the Grits and Eggs podcast, and Deontay Kyle, the host, he has grandma on for the 100th episode of their podcast. And I thought that was so cute because who don't love that granny, right? Shout out to the grannies. They're so inspirational. And her story was inspirational. She was at one point explaining her experience as a young professional in Alabama. And in this testimony, she posed the question or the thought as to why we are so hated as in black people. Why are black people so hated just based off of our skin color? It doesn't make sense, right? Now, I hear this question asked all the time, and I'm almost positive that everyone has heard the answer before, but they either don't believe it, they brush it off with no follow up, or just don't care. But the answer is because we are God's chosen people. We are the children of Israel. This answer is simple, but it is so layered at the same time. And while it sounds very generic and baseless, it is quite the opposite. But the truth is, it's not for everyone to understand. However, if you just take the time to look, it is literally hidden in plain sight. Have you ever wondered why black people are so gifted, intelligent, athletic, talented, beautiful? Yet we remain at the bottom of the totem pole. Like it just doesn't make sense. And that's because it's not a logical explanation, it's spiritual. And this is a worldwide phenomenon. I always wondered this myself growing up.
A question that I asked, and I asked anybody, why are we hated so much? Because of the color of our skin.
Right. Me and Big Head just went through a list of inventions and improvements. And I'm telling you that this country is shaped by our inventions and improvements.
Absolutely.
Two inventions that work in theory, but until a black person came and improved it, it wasn't worth nothing. Yeah. So I think that there may be a certain joy that we carry with us too, where we just are still experiencing joy regardless. We have a good time with each other. We commune with each other. And when we do, we have our own subset of problems, but we also have a lot of joy that we experience with it. And we make each other happy, And I think that the end goal is to create some type of misery within us, and we just not miserable people. And then as much as you throwing at us, we still overcoming. We so resilient, and we're improving the lives of this nation that's around us constantly, right?
Let me tell you, when God says seek and you shall find, he was not lying, okay? Yes, we are God's chosen people, and not just because of our melanin. There are melanated people all around the world, yet they don't experience the same vitriol reserved for us and experienced by us. It's also not just because of our joy and resilience and intelligence and talent, and the list goes on and on. Yes, that plays a role, but that's not the whole of it. Those are just gifts that Yah has blessed us with as a sign and a wonder. Deuteronomy 28:46 says that the curses will be upon us as a sign and a wonder, a marker and an identifier, because we will not know who we are in the end times. Well, how much wonderful to juxtapose distinct curses with distinct blessings all in one people. And only Yah could do something like that. What are these signs, you may ask? Come back for part 2 because I have so much more to tell you.
Black Americans, children of Israel, you got to keep things into perspective, right? You got to keep in mind as you circumnavigate this reality in this world is that we deal with the most extreme form of jealousy as a people, meaning other nations are jealous of us. Because think about it, you got people being jealous every day because somebody got a house over them or a car over them, or somebody's in a position of power over them. Like, people get jealous over like mundane, menial things every day, right? Now think about it in the world's context of spiritual warfare and what God did, the Most High did to Black Americans and children of Israel. He literally said, out of all people on earth, Deuteronomy 7:6, you people are my people above, people like to, whatever, ignore that word, above all people. you guys will be my precious possession above all people. I'm going to give you dominion and rulership over the earth forever. Now, if people are jealous every day in this reality, and jealousy is a demon, right? But if people are jealous over mundane things, right? This person got the man, or this person got the girl, or this person got this person got, you could imagine how this world feels about us if the God of all gods said literally, you people are my favorite. You people belong to me. You people are mine. And that's not to say that the Most High doesn't love or accept Gentiles, right? But the Most High could do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? And think about it. The fake wannabe-ish people in Israel now, they tell you straight up, they're the chosen people. Well, yeah, they are chosen, right? But it's just that they're chosen by Satan. And in Satan's world, this is why they own and control everything in Satan's world. So keep that into perspective when you go into Europe, when you go into Africa, when you go into, you know, and there's a lot of our people in Africa, right? But a lot of Africans are Hamites as well. So just keeping that into perspective, like when you go in the world, you're going to try to get accepted by the world when they're looking at you like, right? And it's even worse for Black Americans who don't know who they are, because they go around this world simple as a day's old, not realizing, comprehending, or enter under or understanding why people don't like them. And then you try to give them an answer and a solution as to why this world doesn't like you, Black American, right? And they don't want to hear it. God loves everybody, right? But I understand that's that 2/3 programming. You know what I mean? So get this, understand this, right? This is why. It's out of pure jealousy. It's clear we're the special people, right? I mean, the tribe of Judah, musically, we influenced the entire world. I lived in Asia. All they do is play hip hop music in them clubs over in Asia. Go to Europe. All they do is play hip hop. Like, Black Americans set the culture for the world. You know what I mean? That's the tribe of Judah, the same tribe as Jesus Christ, who today Christ would be considered. And I say this over and over and over again, because these people are going to keep hearing it. And I do it because really, I like to irritate them, you know, and they hate it. So this is why I keep doing it, right? But, you know, Christ would be considered a Black American man today, or a African American man today, or a NIGGA man today. You know what I mean? Like, Christ was killed in the worst way a Black man could possibly be killed, right? But just the point of this video is, understand it's a deep hatred and jealousy, right? Because they're not us. The thing is that they get mad at us when really it's not us. You know what I mean? It's the Most High did all of this. And if you have any morsel of intelligence, you don't want to go against the Most High's order. You don't want to go against you know, what the Most High wants. So the words of the Gentiles, right? If you enter under overstanding and you recognize it, just accept it. Like, okay, I'm a Gentile, and a lot of you are. I'm like, okay, I'm a Gentile, right? I see what this world has done to Black Americans. Okay, it makes sense. All right, you know, let me go love on them people. Let me go love on them, right? In a righteous way. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, you really quite honestly don't have a choice. If you don't, you're going with the fallen angel. You're going with the fake gods and his people. So, yeah, all praise to the Most High.
Hi, Black 1000. I answered this a little bit earlier today, but I was going to try to elaborate a little bit. From my experience, because I can't speak for everyone, all white people or their experiences, but from my experience, it was more like taught to fear you than hate you. I was taught that you were dangerous, that you hated white people. I can remember being told that, like, I couldn't go in certain parts of town because, like, if I was just walking down the street, I would have been, like, murdered or raped or something. It was just more like the rhetoric in the background. Part of my white privilege is I can put down my anti-racist torch and, like, not think about this because it's not negatively affecting me. In that, we also have white privilege in our racism because we don't have to carry it around all the time. It's not, like, front of mind. It's not like I was constantly being berated with, like, bad rhetoric about black people. It's always just like in the background, like being reinforced with, you know, racist jokes or racist comments about people, or, you know, using racial slurs to degrade people. So it still happens today. I'm like, there's a park by my house, and they have public events for like Easter. They'll have an Easter egg hunt, but we go to them, and it's predominantly black people that attend. And I will have white people in my life when they'll be like, oh, what are you doing Saturday? I'm like, oh, we're going up to the park by our house. And they're like, you know, it gets really dark around there, which is now like code for there's too many black people. Or they'll be, you know, they'll be like, oh, it's really going to be really dark there, so why don't you go over to this part of town, to that park? And I'm just like, yeah, we've been many times, we enjoy it, that's why we're going. But it's just that constant like thread through, like theme throughout. And I feel like some of that doesn't answer the question as to like why people feel that way, but again, it's just been ingrained in us since children to fear you, which easily turns to hate, right? If you are scared of them and think that they're going to like threaten your way of life or threaten your well-being, then you are going to hate them. And it's wild, and I'm trying to break down these barriers. I really just want people to see, like, push back on those thoughts, peel back the onion a little bit. Like, why do you have these thoughts? Where did they come from? Are they rooted in fact? Are they rooted in your experiences? And I've said this before, but when you isolate yourself away from a group that you have hatred for, whether it's black people or the LGBTQIA community or the trans community or Muslims or whoever, when you don't have actual experiences with these people on a regular basis, it is easy to continue to believe the bullshit that you've been told, because you don't have anything to judge it against except for believing people you love and trust in your life that have told you these things. So more than anything, I encourage white people to engage with these communities, make friends, have experiences, build your own narrative, so at least it's built on something real and just not something that you've been told that's been passed down through generations that have been built on hate.
People's issue with Black Americans is that we thrive in spite of what has happened to us and what continues to happen to us. When you think about it in the terms of slavery, we literally was not supposed to survive that. That was either one, supposed to completely wipe us out or keep us as the inferior race. But in spite of that all, we still thrive. And people do not like that. Like, it is so crazy that you can go anywhere on this earth and they have a slur or they have some nasty intent when it comes to Black Americans. Our resilience and our ability to be unapologetically Black despite what happened to us is unfathomable to people. That kind of gives me that insight to the conversation that constantly happens around like the Black British people that literally cannot keep African Americans out of their psyche. Like, the obsession with us is insane. I also seen a video, I want to say this was like last year, of a creator on here. It's the guy that usually goes around London and he asks people about like Black Americans and like all that stuff. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but he basically stitched a video from a clip of some Black British people talking about why some Black British are so angry with Black Americans. And basically he was saying along the lines is that we are unapologetically Black out loud, and that's not necessarily something that they can do in London. So when they see us doing it, they're like, how dare y'all? Like, how dare you basically be unapologetically Black around these white people? That's essentially what I got from that video. Like, how are you gonna be mad at us because you don't want to be yourself? Like, you want to box yourself in, but then look at other people from that box that are being themselves and attack them for it. Like, that is so crazy. Whenever the Black British people get on here and they go on a tirade about us, I just have to giggle and laugh. But I always think of that video. It comes from a place of jealousy because, once again, we thrive in spite of what happened to us. The crazy thing is, they can do the very thing if they weren't worried about us every 2 to 4 business days. And I don't even want to play into this diaspora thing because it's really just so stupid. Because at the end of the day, it just boils down to the fact that they hate our resilience. That's what that is.
And don't think that just because there's not a political term in wide use that refers to the hatred of Black Americans, that you don't hate Black Americans. Because a whole lot of you, Black, white, Latino, everybody, a lot of you do not like Black Americans, hold extremely bigoted and white supremacist views about Black Americans. And you think it's cool because there's no political term to discuss it. Okay, well, I'm calling it. You can be called on it. Because no matter who you are, if you are not a Black American, then you are still benefiting from the enslavement of Black Americans in this country. You are. But still, a lot of you play this cute little game where you feel like nobody can say anything about it because you hold this identity or you hold that identity. No, a lot of you hate Black Americans, and it's gross. And it's white supremacist. And it's one of the ways that pretty much every race of people can be called in to do the work of white supremacy in this country.
Hey, yo, real quick. White people, what make y'all hate Black people so much? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand it a little better. You know, what makes y'all hate Black people the way that y'all hate us? Like, and I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, I don't hate Black people. Well, you might not hate Black people, but your family did. Your family does, your family did, and a lot of them probably still do. And if you're one that say, I have Black friends or I love you, everyone, well, get your people on the goddamn team too. God damn it. Like, what the fuck, yo? What have we done to y'all that make y'all hate us the way that y'all do? I'm sick and tired of seeing all y'all racist ass comments, y'all racist ass ideology all over the internet and just throughout just life every day that we have to deal with. Like, what have we done to y'all? What have we done to y'all but make this country great? Black people are what make this country great. Even from the beginning of time, y'all ain't know how to do shit. Y'all had to get us to enslave us to get us to do the shit that y'all ain't know how to do. And all the inventions that y'all took credit for that we actually done, like even to modern day time, sports, entertainment, anything you name, we have our hands in it. And if we ain't have our hands in it, it wouldn't be what it is today. So what is it that we possibly done to y'all that make y'all hate us so much? Like, I don't get it. Like, y'all hate the fact that we exist? Is that what it is? But if y'all hate the fact that we exist, and if we didn't exist, that means y'all asses wouldn't exist. So what is it that makes y'all hate us so much? Like, are y'all just mad that y'all just can't be who we are? Y'all can't be, y'all just ain't, y'all not better than us. Y'all are not biologically, chemically, whatever you want to call it, y'all are not better than us. So is that why y'all so mad? Because we thrive and we do stuff and we so effortlessly we make stuff look good. Like, what is it that we done to make y'all hate us, yo? Like, I don't get it, yo. Because we can give a fuck about y'all. If you wanna, you know, when it all boils down to it, we don't dislike y'all. We don't dislike nobody. But why is it so much hatred towards us when we ain't did nothing to y'all but exist and make y'all life better? But you know what? If y'all actually allowed us to thrive and flourish, this country would be a whole lot better than what it is. But nah, y'all just so greedy. Y'all just want everything. Y'all want control and power over everything. Y'all been like that since the beginning of times. We don't do half of the shit that y'all do. So what is it that makes y'all hate us? Is it the fact that we the original people? Y'all mad because y'all not the first here? Is that what it is? It gotta be something stupid like that. Cause I don't see no other thing, no other reason. Yo, like, tighten the fuck up, people.
As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this thought. Conversations like this are uncomfortable, but discomfort doesn't mean they shouldn't happen. It just means it requires maturity. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to react emotionally. But if we are honest, the tension between communities in America didn't start yesterday. It's layered. It's fueled by narrative that keep people divided instead of informed. The goal here isn't to create more division. It's to ask questions, to challenge assumption, to encourage accountability across the board. No group is perfect. No community is above criticism. But the criticism should be rooted in facts, contest and fairness, not stereotypes, misinformations, or competition. And most importantly, we cannot allow social media moments to define entire group of people. If you agree with this part of the video, say why. If you disagree, explain respectfully. If you've learned something new, share it, because real conversation don't happen when everyone is shouting. It happens when people are listening. At the end of the day, progress doesn't come from pretending tension doesn't exist. It comes from addressing them responsibly. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thinking critically. And thank you for being part of a community that can discuss difficult topics without losing perspective. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Then I'll see you in my next video.